Hello, coaches! Welcome back to another episode of Coach Better Spotlight. My name is Kim Cafino, and I have worked with hundreds of teachers, coaches, and leaders in schools around the world to help them create thriving and sustainable instructional coaching programs. And I'm on a mission to help you coach better. Wherever you are in your coaching journey, come learn with us in one of our courses for instructional coaches or our private mentoring packages. Join our global Coach Better community and find all of our resources for instructional coaches on our website at coachbetter.tv. If you have a question you'd like to hear us answer or a topic you'd like us to discuss, please drop us a line on our website at coachbetter.tv/ask. Join our Coach Better Facebook group or find us on social media at Eduro Learning and send me a DM. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to catch all of our latest episodes on YouTube. Today, I'm chatting with Carla Marschall, Director of Dresden International School in Germany. This is Carla's second time on the Coach Better podcast, and she's also featured in our certificate program, Women Who Lead. Every time I get off a call with Carla, my brain is just buzzing with ideas and inspiration. Carla brings a systems thinking view to everything she does, and the implementation of coaching in her school is no exception. In this Spotlight episode, we're focused on why all schools should consider building a coaching culture. In the full-length episode, we are also talking about how Carla is working towards creating a coaching culture, including communicating the vision and putting structures and policies in place to make it successful. This specific clip summarizes why and how coaching can be so powerful in creating a sense of belonging and community in our schools. The full-length audio podcast episode is full of big picture thinking about how to develop a coaching program from scratch. If you are curious about systems and structures that make coaching successful, this episode is for you. To listen to the full episode, subscribe to Coach Better wherever you get your podcasts. So tell us a little bit about that. Like, what are you putting in place? How are you building that? What has come about in the last year or 8 months?
Yeah, I think when you notice that things aren't necessarily in place, if there's structures or systems, or there's something that's quite old, it hasn't been reviewed in a while, sometimes our initial impetus is to feel a sense of frustration, like, oh, why doesn't this exist? But I think what I've tried to do is approach it with a sense of curiosity and a sense of intentionality, that there's actually an opportunity that exists in reshaping some of these things that have maybe not been looked at for 5 years, 6 years. And so what we're doing is trying to take that lens of a growth focus, developmental focus, with all of our policy development, and to really think about how we can build coaching into it. So to give an example of some of the things we're doing with our review of positions of responsibility. So our positions of responsibility are under review every 2 years. That gives us a chance to look at the job descriptions. And for all of those job descriptions, we've been really thinking about how can we embed that coaching mindset as something that's explicit in the responsibilities of the post holder. So we have it actually documented in our role descriptions. And when we have had people leaving roles, so we had a previous role, which was an ed tech integration specialist, which is not the, a term that kind of rolls off the tongue very easily. But what we did is we reshaped that as a digital learning coordinator, bringing learning into the job title. And then as part of the restructuring of that, moving away from more tool-based focus to more working with humans and helping humans with their pedagogy, going into classrooms and being a support. And so that's one of the things we've done. We've also been looking at policies, like we needed to have an educational access policy as part of our IB review. And so when we were putting that together, we put responsibilities, and for our SSST, our student success team, we said, coaching teachers is, is part of that, because we can't multiply the number of staff members we have, but we can build capacity for inclusive practices if we're coaching.
So now you are probably may not know this right off the top of your head, but I'm so curious, like, what does that language sound like when we're looking at the reviewing positions of responsibility, for example, or even those SST roles? I have an idea in my head already what digital learning coordinator might look like. That's only my like personal bias, but like, what is some of the language surrounding that in those job descriptions that you have kind of brought together?
Mm-hmm. So it might say something like, use coaching as an approach to build individual and team capacity related to whatever that area of responsibility is. And so we have that built into things like our social emotional well-being coordinator role, our heads of department, our coordinator roles like math coordinator and the PYP, so that we're really explicit about the fact that these individuals provide the opportunity to build capacity and have a developmental approach to working with team members, not a deficit. This person's not doing A, B, C, but actually helping people to reach the potential that they have and giving them that sense of excitement around the development of themselves and the school.
That is so exciting. I just love hearing about that. And I think that even just that first kind of stage of what you're talking about, reviewing the policies, is going to give people listening a scope of understanding for, okay, how can this be embedded in all the different things that we're doing at the school? I think it feels to me like you're approaching every new task, every new thing with this coaching lens. You're just like, everything that comes up, how can we bring coaching to this in a positive way? And so that example of the accreditation domains with CIS, how can we bring a coaching element to this in a way that makes it feel meaningful use of our time? And while you were talking about that, I'm working on another piece right now. And one of the things I'm talking about is like the value of coaching and why schools should consider coaching. So in your wonderful way, the way you can just say things so nicely, why should international schools consider bringing coaching to their school? Like schools that haven't thought about things in this way, what's the big value of it in your perspective, having gone through different experiences with coaching that you have seen it in multiple places?
So I think there's two aspects which sound very different, but I think that they're related. One is around organizational effectiveness, in the sense that if we can listen better and we understand each other better, then we will work together better. It's just, that simple. So that's one piece that's very important, but we shouldn't just be goal-driven and kind of like efficiency mavens in our organizations, because that's very dehumanizing. And so the other aspect of coaching, which I think is really beautiful, is that kind of selflessness and generosity of listening that we bring as a coach. I actually had a conversation with Ocean when she came to visit last week, and I said, I find it very similar to some of the ideas of Buddhism, where listening is an act of generosity. It's an act of compassion, because it is about removing the self from us and about providing space for the other individual. Ocean describes it also as an act of love. So I think if we want to develop organizations that are humanizing but effective, then coaching is one of the ways that we can do that.
Hi coaches, thanks for watching this clip with Carla. While Carla is specifically focused on bringing cognitive coaching to her school community, and this podcast focuses mainly on instructional coaching, there is still so much to take away from the episode. Understanding the systemic structures that need to be in place to make coaching successful is essential for any coaching program. If you are ready to think about your coaching practice and program from this big picture lens, you're going to want to follow the THRIVE model for instructional coaching success. The 3 phases, clarity, consistency, and community, will help you either build a coaching culture or your coaching practice, or evaluate and reflect on an existing coaching program and your coaching practice to see where you may have room to grow. To dig deeper into the THRIVE model, get all of our free resources on our website at edurolearning.com/thrive. You'll get a deeper understanding of the model and be able to evaluate your coaching program and your practice to see where you have opportunities for growth. Wherever you are in your coaching journey, we can support you. We have courses for every level of coaching experience. From new coaches moving from the classroom to a coaching role, to current coaches ready to be more intentional and strategic in their practice, to experienced coaches ready to lead. Find all of our opportunities for learning at coachbetter.tv/learn. If you're curious right now and you have questions, please reach out. You can leave a comment below, you can join our Coach Better Facebook group, or you can find us on social media at Eduro Learning and send me a DM. I'd love to support you on your coaching journey. See you next time.